Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sick of Shit Broadcasting. I am the host of this program, yours truly, Mr. Sick of Shit. Because just like you, I'm sick of the shit going on in this country and around the world. However, people are fighting back. The unfortunate drawback here is that they're fighting back, some of them anyway, for the wrong person and the wrong reason. Trump is not the good guy. Whether people want to believe he is or not, he's not a good guy. I have said it before and I'm going to say it again. It doesn't matter who gets into the White House next year. It really doesn't. Whoever it is going to be a totalitarian tyrant. There is no doubt in my mind about that. Do I have any proof? No. I'm just going to tell you, wait and see what happens. It also doesn't matter who gets in. Either way it goes, there's going to be a hot, likely, civil revolution. I'm not even going to call it a war because I really don't believe that's what it's going to be. I think that when it happens, it's going to probably be pretty quick. The sad thing is that people will likely be stupid enough to fight with each other. That's the worst part of it. Because the American people are not the problem. It doesn't matter how they vote, really. Because votes don't mean anything anymore anyway. We know that. We saw that in the last big election. Votes are absolutely just meaningless. And as many states as there have been, not to mention cities, that have, I am not even going to say gone blue, because I really don't think that that's what's happened. I believe that they have just gone pure evil. Because that is what we are seeing being manifest all over the country and throughout the world. Is evil. It doesn't have anything to do with politics. It has everything to do with good versus wrong. Good versus evil. And we're not seeing a whole lot of good. What good we are seeing, we're seeing coming from people who are deciding that they're going to do something. They're going to take a stand. But they're doing it the wrong way. Starving Americans in any city because you don't like the way that a political candidate is being legally treated, that's just wrong. That is just wrong. And this candidate is encouraging these people. Truckers. I love my truckers. But they're doing what they're doing for the wrong reason and for the wrong person. If you want to make change take place in this country, do it because you want change to take place for the people of this country. Not because you think that someone is being legally mistreated. Maybe he is, maybe he's not. I don't know. All I know is I don't trust him. After what he did, or should I say what he didn't do, he knew before he left office that a civil war versus revolution was inevitable. He knew that. So, that being the case, why didn't he just stay in office and quail whatever was going to happen? He could have done that. If he really cared about the people of this country, I believe he would have done that. And he didn't. He had the full force of the American military and just about pretty much every state in the country's National Guard and militia and what have you. Maybe not all of them, but a lot of them he had the majority of this country behind him. He could have done it. He chose not to. He chose to take the coward's way out. What makes you think, whoever you may be listening, what makes you think he's not going to do something like that again? But on a far worse and much grander scale than backing out like he did the last time. That's not even to mention that prolonged incident, and I believe you all know what I'm talking about, the one that got governors and mayors thinking that they had the right to tell people that they couldn't assemble, how many people, all this stuff, just kind of like the British did to the colonists. Yeah. Well, it all came full circle, didn't it? And he allowed all that to happen. He didn't have to, but he did. I mean, granted, what you gonna do? Federal government executive branch really should not interfere in the affairs of the state. But, well, we know what happened with that. They scared everybody into letting them do what they wanted. So, I don't know, I guess I can't really say too much about him not interfering in that because he didn't really have any business interfering in that. The people are the ones who should have stood up to all that. But, people need to understand something. The everyday Joe or Schmo that you see on the street, the everyday Mary, Alice, or whoever, they're not your enemy. Not by a long shot. Doesn't matter what they believe about politics, they're not your enemy. The enemy is the politicians themselves. They are public enemy number one. And I'm not talking about just the Democrats or the repulsive politicians. I'm talking about both. One is just as demonic as the other, and one is just as repulsive as the other. I see one doing nothing but ripping the country apart at the seams, while I see the others doing nothing. Absolutely nothing. So I'd say, well, what can they do? Their hands are there's plenty they can be doing. There's plenty. There's plenty that we can be doing. We've got to get all, and I do mean all, of the current politicians that are in office everywhere throughout the country out. How are we going to do that? I don't know. It's got to be done, I know that, because none of them are worth the shit that comes out of their ass. None of them. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to do it with voting because votes just don't matter anymore. So we're going to have to find some other kind of way to get everybody that's in office currently out and put in Americans like you and me who are going to do what is best for their city, their state, the country. And the only way to do what's best for the country is to do it one city and one state at a time. So, how do we go about doing that? Well, there's some peaceful ways of doing that. You can boycott certain companies that are involved in political campaigns, shall we say? There is that's one way to do it. There are other ways, and I do believe that eventually other ways are going to follow. And when that does, these people are definitely going to be getting out of office. But I don't think it's going to be terribly peaceful when it happens. I really don't think it will be. Personally, I believe that we're going to see something very similar to the French Revolution taking place right here in this country. I believe, this is me, but I believe that the people of this country are going to eventually stop caring about differences in politics, and they're going to come together. If they have to do it state by state, city by city, I really do believe that eventually they're going to do that, and they're going to get these people out of office. And if these politicians are lucky, then they might put them in jail somewhere and just keep them there. I'm not so sure they're going to be that lucky. I'm just not so sure they will be. I think they're going to see their demise literally come. In every sense of the word. Is that really necessarily the best way to go about it? Probably not. Is it possible? Maybe. That it might be the only way to make it happen? Probably not. I don't think that that's really necessary. They can, if they choose to, just, get rid of these people and put them away somewhere where they can't do any harm anymore. But they're going to be pretty angry. And I'm not so sure that a lot of people are not going to allow that anger to take control and cause them to do things in a way that they really should just not do. Can you understand if they do? Oh yeah, definitely I can understand. We're being replaced, slowly but surely, and at this point it's really not even slow. I mean, all these people coming across the border, all these states and cities that are wanting to make it illegal for them to work, make it legal for them to vote, all these people that are being given these debit cards with a shitload of money to get whatever they want. They can eat hell. Look at what happened in New York City. They can beat the hell out of cops and go scot-free. How long do you think it's going to be before that starts happening in your city? I'm wondering. I'm really wondering. Because I know these gangs, Venezuela, Mexico, they're here. They're in Louisville. I know they're here. I've been seeing their graffiti in the men's room where I work for, well, at least 6 months, if not longer. So I know they're here. I don't know what to do about it. The only thing that I know to do at this point is to just show as much love, kindness, and respect for everybody that comes into Speedway as possible. Some people make it impossible to do that. Not that many, but there are some. And when they come in, sometimes I really just don't know what to do, so go after them with 6 foot of red oak. I did. I didn't hit anybody. Fortunately, didn't have to. But I was ready to. And I have done it before at Circle K. And I won't hesitate to do it again if I have to. I won't unless I have to, but I will if I feel the need. Of course, we've got this big balloon. I find it very interesting that not long after this balloon leaves our airspace, we have cell phones all over the country go down. And not only did that happen, but we have had a major hack on insurance companies. 3. I don't remember the names, but 3 insurance companies have been hacked. And the medical facilities also have been hacked. One third of the people in this country cannot get prescriptions and likely will not be able to get prescriptions for an entire month because medical facilities and insurance companies, well, I don't think it was the insurance companies. I think I might be wrong on that. I think it was the medical facilities, not the insurance companies, but the medical facilities. They were the ones that had been hacked. And they cannot turn on their computers. They had to shut them all off so that people's payment information would not be nefariously worked with by these hackers. So they can't communicate except by phone with the insurance companies. And because of that, people cannot get their medications paid for unless they're willing to pay for it cash if they can. How many people are not able to do that? Obviously, quite a few. Because that's the percentage. 1/3 of the American population can't get medications because the insurance companies cannot be contacted to get the payment. And this is going to be going on for up to a month. So get ready, folks. If you've got anything that you need to be taking to keep you alive, you might not last for very long. Depends on how dire it is that you get it every single day. May even be having a problem with getting medical equipment paid for. Probably is. That's probably going on too. But I got news for you. This isn't even the beginning of what we got coming. These people, and I'm not 100% convinced that it's even other countries, honestly. I'm really not. Not at all convinced of that. I'm not convinced in any way that it's not our own government hiring people to do these things and then blaming it on China, Russia, North Korea, Iran, whoever they want to blame it on, just to take the focus off of them. Is that actually, do I have any proof of that? No. I'm simply saying that it would not in any way surprise me if that is what's happening. Wouldn't surprise me a bit. Wouldn't surprise me at all if the flooding in California is being deliberately done by cloud seeding. Wouldn't surprise me a bit. Of course, we're not. If that is the case, we're not going to be told about it until years, if not decades, after everybody involved is dead and gone and cannot be held accountable. Why? Because that's the way this is always done. Isn't that what happened with Tuskegee? Isn't that what happened with MK Ultra? Isn't that what happens with everything nefarious that our own government does? They wait until they can't be held accountable anymore, then they decide they're going to tell the truth. And people still believe in these people? Why does anybody still put any trust or faith at all in the U.S. government? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know why anybody, any country in the world, puts any trust and faith in their government. And unless it's a government that proves to them with their actions that they actually care about the people, then there's no reason to trust them. What was it that Ronald Reagan said were the 9 most terrifying words in the English language? I'm from the government and I'm here to help. I don't need your help. I don't want your help. Stay as far away from me and mine as it is humanly possible for you to do. Because if you don't, well, let's just say you're going to wish that you had. Until next time, Mr. Sick of Shit, signing out.